Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today is our lecture number 16, and we are doing chapter number 2 about differentiation. And today we will discuss the rules for differentiation. Okay, we start our lecture. Rules for differentiation. Rules for differentiation. The first method which we have studied in our previous exercise, and that is about the rule was named ab initio method, first principle method. These are the same method, but we have discussed different question through which solve we apply this method and solve different questions. Now we are using here a second method for differentiation, and this method I will start this method. Now the first rule is when we deal with the constant number, d by dx of some constant number. Here again, the change of constant with respect to this x. And whenever we differentiate, we calculate the change of any constant. It always equals to 0 because constant does not change where I will mention here where C is a constant. So that's why we cannot calculate the change in any constant. Now the second rule is power rule. The second rule is power rule. Now when we calculate the change of this function xn with respect to x, what we do in this method, we just bring this power to backside here as a multiple of this x, and in power of x we decrease 1 degree. We decrease it up to 1 degree. Means here we have the power of x is n, but now its power is n minus 1. What we have done, it's simply, and you notice that this is also a function of x, and here we are calculating the change of this function with respect to x. Means these two variables are same. This is the function of x, and this is the variable, this is the independent variable on which we are calculating the change. Now when we are doing the differentiation, when we start the differentiation of this function, what we do, we bring this power n to here as a multiple of this function, and we decrease 1 from the original power, right? And now this is done. Now here we have n is any real number. It may be positive or maybe negative fractional, means it's a real number. Okay, now I will apply these rules or in your exercise question, then you can see how the change occurs by using this differentiation rules. Now the third rule, here we have d by dx of constant as a multiple of any function of x. Then what we do? By rule, this is a constant function and we cannot calculate the change on this function. That's why if we bring this constant at the back side or outside of the function, like if I write c over here and then I write d by dx of f of x, because actually I'm applying the change, I'm calculating the change of this function. on C or change cannot be calculated. So that's why I write it like this, because we have concern with this function. Now when we apply the differentiation, what happens? Simply we get f prime of x. It's a derivative of x. Actually here we don't have any function. When we take a function, we change it according to these rules. Now when we have now the fourth, this was the first, second, and okay. Now the fourth rule is when we have d by dx of x, simple x. Here we have x and here we have, means we are calculating the change of x with respect to x. Both variables are same, and in this case we always get the answer 1. Actually, if you see, we are doing the same thing over here, like this. Here we have in our power rule, what we have done, that d by dx of xn. And when I said, when we bring this power as a multiple of this function and we decrease one quantity from the 1 degree from the power, we get this type of result. And if we have n is equals to 1, so what happened? D by dx of x power 1, and 1 into x 1 minus 1. So what? 1 and 0. Finally we get 1. So this is the same case as the power rule. This rule and this rule is the same. This is the sub case of this power rule. Now the fifth rule. Fifth rule is sum or difference rule. When we have two function in which the operator is maybe positive or maybe negative, subtraction or addition, when we have in any between any two function. So if we, like this, d by dx of what is f of x plus minus g of x, then we can apply it separately. D by dx of f of x and then d by dx of g of x. We can operate them separately. We can apply differentiation separately on both functions. Then product rule. Product rule. Product rule when d by dx of f of x into g of x. Then the rule is first function remains same and we apply derivation on second function, plus sign, then second function same, we apply derivation on first function. So this is the product rule. Then we have the last rule, quotient rule. Quotient rule. In quotient rule, d by dx of two functions. This rule is a little bit complicated, but when you apply this on question, it will be not become very difficult. You will take the power 2 of denominator's function. Then this denominator function will remain same over here, and derivation of numerator g of x, then minus sign, and now g of x is same, remains same, and d by dx of f of x means whatever the function in your denominator, you will take power 2 of your this function. Then this will the function which is in your denominator, you will take it over here, and this function remains same. First you will apply derivation on your this numerator function minus, now numerator function is same and you apply derivation on your denominator's function. So this is the quotient rule, and the last rule, that is a reciprocal rule. Reciprocal rule, and this rule tells us that if we take the derivation of this type of function, then simply what you will do, you just write the power of square, and then here you have the derivative of your denominator's function minus this, where g of x not equals to 0. When I apply these rules, maybe these rules are looking very difficult, but now you can see when apply these rules in your on your exercise, you can see these are not very difficult rules. Now I will start the exercise. Exercise 2.3. Exercise 2.3. Here you can see this question number 1. Here we have x power 4 plus 2 into x cube plus x square. Now you can see this is a function of f of x. You can see this is a function of x, means all terms having the same variable, and that is x. Now you have to, the question is differentiate this question with respect to x. So this is the function of x, and we have to calculate the change in this function with respect to x. So how we write this thing, that we are calculating the change of f of x with respect to x. This is like d by dx of this f of x, means d by dx of what? X4 to x cube plus x square. And here we are applying two different rules. How? Look, here we have how many terms? 1, 2, 3. So first rule is what? The first rule which we are applying is power or sum rule. Sum or difference rule. How? I will apply this derivative to all terms. Then d by dx of 2x cube by d by dx of x square. So here I have applied this sum or difference rule. Okay, now what will be the next step? The next step is this. In first term, here we have a simple power rule in this section. Here I can apply the power rule. Now in this section I have another rule, which is in which we have the constant with function c of f of x, and in the third part again we have a power rule. So whenever we solve the question, we have a multiple of rules which we can apply on a single question, right? Now don't confuse yourself, just apply I have mentioned these rules just to explain you that how the rules which I have explained you before this exercise, that how we are using these rules in our questions. So otherwise, no need to confuse yourself and no need to mention these rules. Just start the question and simply, if the terms as much as you have given, you just apply the derivation, this derivation d by dx to all the terms and then solve it one by one. Like in first, you have what I have told you in power rule. Bring this power to backside as a multiple of the function and then decrease one from the original power. Minus 1, always you subtract minus 1 from the original power. So 4x 4 minus 1, but that's it. Now here we have 2x cube. 2 is a constant, so definitely we cannot calculate the change of any constant function. That's why I can write this d by dx of x cube, again plus x square. It's also a power rule. So what we do, we bring this 2 at the back side of this function and then we decrease we subtract minus 1 from the original power, whatever the power it may be. If we have here minus 2, even then you will subtract minus 1 from this minus 2. Okay, so now 4x cube plus 2. Now you can apply here the power rule. You can directly apply here. You just bring 2 here and just apply the power rule on this term. But just to explain you, that's why I have written to more. I have elaborate more this question just to explain you. Now 2, 2 is a separate thing. Now bring this power over here and then 3. What you will do, whatever the power, you just minus 1 from this power. So this become this plus 2x1. Now rewrite it, 2x cube plus 6x square plus 2x. So this is your answer. Simple, right? Now this is the end of your this question. This is simply the answer. Now the second question, I will solve as much as questions just to explain you the concept of these rules. Now question number 2. Question number 2. Here we have x minus 3 plus 2x minus 3 by 2 plus 3. The question is looking very strange, but you can see when I solve it, you can see it is very easy. Now apply d by dx of this x minus 3 plus 2x minus 3 by 2 plus 3. So what will be the first step? You just apply this derivative d by dx to all the terms. So x minus 3 plus 2, directly you can write here. Do take 2 is a constant, so bring it before this derivative. So d by dx of x minus 3 by 2 plus, no need to write derivative with this constant because there is no other term, so no need to write derivative with 3. Um, sorry, you will it's d by dx, you will write with 3 because it will gives you the zero answer. The constant 3 is there is no other function with 3, means it will become 0. Now what you will do, you will take here, you will apply the power rule, bring this minus 3 over here and then you subtract minus 1 from the original power, again 2. What is the power? Minus 3 by 2. You bring before this function and then you subtract from original power minus 1 plus 0, and then minus 3 into x power minus 4 plus minus 3 and 2 and 2 are cancelled out with each other, then 3x minus 3 and minus 5 minus 5 by 2. This is your answer. That's it. It's very simple, right? So no need to worry. It's very simple. And now the third part. I will do the third part on next. Okay, here I will start this. Now question number 3. Now the function is a plus x divided by a minus x. Look at the function. The function tells itself that it is in this function, on this function we will apply the quotient rule. Okay. Now for quotient rule, first what we do, we apply the derivative d by dx of a plus x divided by a minus x. Now when we apply the quotient rule, what will happen? I have told you in quotient rule you will take the power of denominator, right? And then the denominator's function remains same. You just apply the derivative on numerator function a plus x minus sign, and then the numerator function is same and you will apply the derivative on denominator's function. Now a minus x, this will be remain same, and when you apply the derivative on this function, here we have two terms inside the bracket, so you can apply this derivative separately on both terms, plus d by dx of x minus a plus x remains same, and you apply this derivative on inside the both terms. Now d by dx of this x and the denominator's function remains same. Now a minus x, this is a is a constant number. So what happened when we differentiate this constant number with respect to x, we get 0 plus, and here x and x, the dependent variable and independent variable both are same. So here we get this 1 minus a plus x same, and here again a is a constant, and we are calculating the change of constant with respect to x, we get 0 minus 1 and whole divided by a minus x whole square. Now simplify this, your derivation has done. Now just simplify this fraction. What is a minus x, then plus a plus x divided by a minus x whole square, and a minus x plus a plus x divided by a minus x whole square, this x and x are cancelled, and finally you get 2a divided by a minus x whole square. So this is the answer. The fourth part of this exercise is also the same one. Now question number 5. In question number 5 you can see here you have two factors which are multiplied with each other, means here we have to apply the product rule. X minus 5, then 3 minus x. So first apply d by dx of what, x minus 5 and 3 minus x. Now apply the product rule. What is the product rule? First, what we do, the first function remain same. This is your first function and this is your second function. First function remains same, and it's up to you. If you want to take this as a first function, it's okay, and if you want to take this function as a first function, it's also okay. So because 3 multiplied by 5 commutative property holds in case of multiplication, so there is no problem. You can it's up to you if you want to take first factor as a first function or a second factor as a second function. So it's up to you. Now x minus 5 remains same, and you just apply d by dx on your second function. Then plus sign is of your formula, from your formula, and then second function remains same, and you apply just derivative on your first function. Okay. Now when you apply x minus 5, and when you apply this derivative inside of this factor, here you have two terms. So I have told you, you apply the derivative on both terms separately. So d by dx of x plus 3 minus x and d by dx of x and minus d by dx of this 5. Then x minus 5, and this is the derivation of a constant function. So here we have 0 minus 1 plus 3 minus x, and again here we have the dependent and independent variable, both are same. So we get here 1 minus 0, 5 is a constant, that's why we have here 0. So x minus, the answer is minus x minus 5 and plus 3 minus x, and when you minus x plus 5 plus 3 minus x, so we have 8 minus x, 8 minus 2x, 8 minus 2x, and this is the answer of our question number 5. Okay, now I will do question number I will give you some concept of question number 6, because here we have a full power on fraction on the question number 6. I will not solve it completely. I just give you the concept of this. Here we have x minus 1 by under root x and whole power. And when we apply the derivative on this function under root x minus 1 by under root x whole square, simply what happened? You just bring this 2 over here and under root x minus 1 by under root x power 2 minus 1, and then you will start the derivative of this function under root x minus 1 by under root x, right? You solve the power and then you will differentiate the inside the power. Okay, this concept is we are doing in all the previous questions, like here the question where we have applied the power rule. Okay, no, here we don't have. Next time whenever we have a power function, I will explain it further. Okay, just this. Now, the one trick which I will give you more, that when you have 2 and then under root x minus 1 by under root x power 1, and when you apply this power d by dx on both these terms, you can write it like this: x power 1 by 2 minus d by dx of x power minus 1 by 2. It's simple. It's become very simple. You just bring this power back side and then subtract minus from this original side. The same thing happened here, and this whatever you get, this will be that will become your answer. Now question number 7. In question number 7 you will apply the quotient rule. Okay, question number 7, 8, these all questions, no, I will solve the question number 8, or I will give you the concept of this question number 8. Question number 8. Here we have x square plus 1 whole square divided by x square minus 1. Okay, now this is the question. Um, the question is showing that here we have to apply the quotient rule. Right? In quotient rule, when we apply d by dx of this x square plus 1 whole square, okay, this bracket is not, d by dx of x square plus 1 whole square divided by x square minus 1. So when we apply the quotient rule, what we do, minus 1 whole square, and then this denominator's function remains same, and we apply the derivative on this function minus x square plus 1 square same, and d by dx of x square minus 1 whole square. So this function is same, and when we apply this power, this derivative on this function, first what we do, we solve this whole power. This whole power first we solve, means we bring 2 over here. This is okay, 2 here, and then x square plus 1 2 minus 1, and then we apply the derivative on inside of the function without power 2. So first we solve this power, and then we go in inside the function, right? So this is I have done for you to explain that how you will solve this part. And again, sorry, here we don't have this power 2. Why I have written here this 2? Here we don't have any power, right? Okay, now again x square plus 1 square, and we apply the derivative on both inside the functions. X square minus d by dx of 1. Okay, and then, okay, sorry, the denominator is x square minus 1 whole square, and come here x square minus 1 whole square 2, then x square plus 1 power 1, and now apply the derivative d by dx of x square plus d by dx of 1 minus sign x square plus 1 whole square and 2x minus 0 and whole divided by x square minus 1 square. And now the further question you can solve. The rest of question is very simple, and you know how to solve. I have done this type of question in 6 7 part. Now the rest of questions are also very simple and clear. You can solve, you can try them, and inshallah in my next lecture I will solve the some few questions for you from the same exercise and some theorems. And this is the end of today's lecture, and thank you very much. If you have no need to say, if you have any problem, you can contact me on my WhatsApp number. This is the end of today's lecture.